Welcome to ITB's Travel Hero podcast, which for a second time has turned into a videocast. I'm your host, Charlotte Lamp Davies with management consultancy A Bright Approach. Our travel heroes today come from the field of digitization in travel, and I'm excited and looking forward to diving into this topic with my esteemed experts. They are Lea Jordan, Dr. Markus Heller, and Dirk Rogl. Welcome to the videocast. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for having us, Charlotte. It's a pleasure and great to be with you, Dirk and Markus as well.
Hi, Charlotte. Thanks having you with us. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Dirk. It's nice that you have all been able to make yourselves available for this videocast today. I'm excited to have you here. Well, I mean, why don't we kick off with you all telling us a little bit about yourselves, your career paths, and why digitization in travel is of interest to you, I guess, both personally and in your line of work. Lea, why don't we start with you, please?
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. Well, my name is Lea Jordan, as you said, and I classify more as a hotel nerd, as my background is very much the hospitality and hotel industry. That's where I'm coming from. That's where I spent 10 years of my career. And then I came to technology by just the pain that we see in the industry, right? So basically any challenge that the hotel sector sees is there are solutions there within technology. There's a huge lack of knowledge, basically, also around that. There's by inertia, there's a hesitation around adopting technology. It has getting better, right, in the past years, also accelerated by COVID. And yeah, the past 4 years, I was super lucky to be part of the founding team of Tech Talk Travel and be part of a group that is dedicated to transparency within the technology space for hotels and trying to educate there. And also with ITB Berlin, I've been able to work now, I think the 4th year in a row, working on the program, and the past 2 years really focusing also on digitization and travel technology. Yeah, and I can say I'm just, I'm fixed to it. I can't keep from it. So yeah, super exciting. I get to talk to super exciting people, always being at the forefront of the news. So that's just so much fun. So that's about myself. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I know you've got a lot of hands in lots of digitized pies, as it were. So we look forward to seeing a lot of your tracks at ITB Berlin as well. Dirk, tell us why digitization in travel is of interest to you.
Well, by accident, I arrived in travel tech 25 years ago, and then I never get out of it. So it just stays important for us for this long time. And I mean, I saw a lot of things coming, saw a lot of things going, I saw a lot of things changing. I know the difference between hype and reality, and I think we are in a very interesting time again. Absolutely thrilled to discuss the current challenges now with you, and of course at ITB in Berlin in March.
Indeed, likewise, you've got several tracks lined up for us in March, so we're excited about that. And Markus, tell us a little bit about your path to digitization in travel.
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm with the board of experts since last year, so quite new, but I'm very happy to be also part of it this year. Well, what's my history? I'm coming from the travel industry from my first beginning in the industry. It was more like in the first phase, like 25 years ago, it was more like you're working on concepts and pretty much of theory. And now what we saw then, what I saw then very quickly was how deep digitization will drive the whole industry and how does it going to change everything. And what's quite interesting, I took a second step some 5 years or 4 years ago, because sometime I realized everyone says the future of the industry in general, the future of all the industries is dealing with data. And so therefore I established a new company, Travel Data and Analytics in Nuremberg, and there we are dealing with data. And I think this is just a huge thing we are just right away doing, because we bring together digital processes and the data you need for any kind of AI, whatever we will discuss afterwards. So I'm very, very happy to be part in this big transformation process.
Fantastic, and I'm very happy to have you with us here today. Thank you very much, Markus, and all of you. We're good to go, I think. So let's just dive in. I mean, in the future, I expect that this type of video cast might be done entirely through AI. But luckily, I have the three of you here with me today. And one way or another, of course, it is just a super hot topic as we are, I guess, just entering really only the second year since the arrival of ChatGPT. It's the future, right? What's changed over the last year? Dirk, why don't we kick off with you? Tell us what you see as new.
Well, it's not the future. I become present, and I think this is a major change compared to last year's ITB. Last year it was a real hype. I mean, it just came over us, and to be honest, within our board of experts, we haven't been fully prepared for generative AI just because it came and the OpenAI get launched in November. We start planning ITB a half year before in October, so we absolutely smashed part of our program. We bring a lot of AI topics into the program, and they get fully crowded. So this was last year. What happened now? Now AI become reality everywhere. Not only ChatGPT came. We have Microsoft, we have Google, we have Facebook, we have all the big IT companies, and of course we see first implementations in travel tech, and we see really fascinating tools changing the way how travel will get produced and booked, and it's all over, everywhere within the travel cycle, and that's what we can present this year at ITB, and this will get cool, I think.
Indeed, this year we're very, very ready. I was going to say later, remind everybody that's listening and looking at us that we have an entire track, of course, dedicated to AI. Markus, tell us a little bit about sort of high level what's happened in the last year since we first got aware that we had to get our head around AI.
Well, I think there are many drivers changing the industry quite a bit right now, and I think Dirk just also already mentioned some of it. I think one is how will the demand drive the production in the future? So this is, I think, crucial to the whole industry, because I think many of the processes will have to be changed. They will be driven very newly, and the core question is how to get the right information and the right data to get this demand-driven process done. And I think this is a quite huge field where you can have very many new ideas and new ways. But I also think we have a kind of mass situation. Everyone is trying to do transformation, but I think only a few aspects will go the way along and drive the industry in a really sharp manner.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting times ahead. Lea, what are your observations from over the last year, sort of broadly speaking, in this area?
Well, for me, observing this like as an outsider, as I'm not involved in any company that actually works with AI or applies AI or is about to adopt it, I just felt it was a massive hype last year, right? So as Dirk said, it instantly came as a topic. Everyone was talking about it. It was a very flashy year, I'd say, for AI. So there was no white paper, no blog, no webcast, nothing that wouldn't touch on AI. And I think we can confirm that from the board of experts at ITB. 80% of the companies at ITB suddenly want to talk about AI, and they want to explore how they are leveraging AI, right? So such an exponential acceleration of AI experts in our industry suddenly, which shows how hot this topic is, right? So I think personally, looking at the topic, I feel it's pretty much about cutting the noise, right? And filtering out, so what's hype, what's trend, what's actionable, and also looking at our industry, where I feel, at least from the community I'm having contact with, 80% of our industry most likely is still like small, mid-sized enterprises, like smaller companies, right? Or even the hotel groups, they're decentralized, still operating. We have a lot of acquisitions in the industry. There's a lot of movement, right? So it's not like as easy as it sounds, and it sounds so nice, right? So easy, but I think Dirk can explain more on that. The big players are basically leading this, right? And that's going to be exciting for ITB to see actual use cases, to hear from them personally. They're going to be there in person, right? So you have the chance to meet them, see them live on stage. They will tell you what they're actually doing in AI, what's possible today. Yeah, and for the other companies and other players, I feel it's just about, as I said, cutting the noise, separating, right, between what's really important and what's really adding value to my business, like short-term, mid-term. And long-term, I think it's good to observe and just stay in the know, right? What a convention is also for, to just stay informed.
Indeed, this is where we take our learnings with us, for the coming year, for sure. I mean, it might be a little bit interesting to talk about some of those companies that you feel are leading the way in developing AI tools for our sector, and who do you see as the winners, maybe sort of in the short to medium term? Dirk, can I start with you again there, please?
Yeah, well, you can, but honestly, it's hard to predict just because this field is so highly dynamic. I mean, now we're end of January, and still, I would say we see a full innovation cycles until ITB will start in a few weeks. So I don't know precisely what's the next big thing in AI. Firstly, of course, the big companies are leading. That's what we see when we name Microsoft or, of course, Google, and we see this also on the travel side. Of course, we have the big OTAs like Booking or Expedia doing great applications. On the other hand, the access barriers are pretty low. So almost every company is able to produce own personalized GPTs, means own tools. So we can do it all. You can do it. I can do it, and it's pretty easy to do so. So it's also for SME. AI is a great chance, and so I think it's a fair match for all stakeholders within the travel industry, and we see a wide range of innovations. And I'm sure we see losers, of course we will, but I don't think it has to be naturally only the small guys who will be losers in this. So I see much more chances than risks.
Yeah, there will also be, I expect there will be quite a lot of people coming from outside of travel into travel to try and teach us how we need to do it, because that's obviously a trend that we're seeing more and more, especially, in terms of the real big winners in travel recently. They have not come from within travel often, in my opinion, and how I see the landscape. Lea, your thoughts on the short-term winners, medium-term winners here?
Well, I mean, I'm not a 100% AI expert, right? But what I've seen, we have been talking about machine learning AI for quite some time in the travel industry, right? So there has been companies out there that already explored the opportunities there. And I mean, the first area where you can have a really low-hanging fruit applying AI or all the solutions that come with that is operational efficiency, right? So if you look at the hotel sector, for example, it's an industry known to have a lot of mundane, clumsy business processes, right? We talk about fragmentation all the time in our industry across the vertical, like the travel value chain. But if you look at the singular sectors, they themselves have these issues, right, of silos and processes being very complicated, really manually. I think there is a huge potential, and there's a lot of, and Dirk is totally right, I have to add to that, there's a lot of single hotels and hotel groups that have already increased their operational efficiency with simple things like adding the ChatGPT to their already existing chatbot, right? So chatbots is nothing new in the hotel industry. Basically, any website provider offers you like a plugin use, and the messenger was a huge topic, etc. So I think that's a quick win. And then I also think customer support. So also if you look at the whole like customer support of cancellation response, etc., I think there's a huge benefit. And in the area of reviews as well, I'd say, just in, for example, responding to them or filtering them or organizing them. So that's what I'd say. But I guess there's probably more to it.
Yeah, AI and efficiency are just two words that go very well together if it's put together in the right way. Markus, what are your observations of the sort of the ones leading the way in this field?
Well, from my point of view, I think really those already mentioned by Dirk or Lea are those in the driver's seat. This is mainly, I guess from my side, these are mainly the big sales platforms, tourism platforms like Booking and those of them. But I think this is mainly the customer-driven process. I think what we will see in the next 1 or 2 years, a huge challenge for all the old players in the industry, I would say, because we do have so many legacy systems that are still very unflexible. So if you put up front a very flexible customer-driven system, that's fine. But if you don't have a legacy to provide that what we need over there, because at the end of the day, also Booking or Swoodoo or everyone is going to sell old-fashioned product. So this means you have a hotel room, you have a plane, you have a whatever, and this is exactly what you had some 30 years before also. And I think the big challenge will be how to connect those demand-driven processes with the production processes. And what's quite interesting within our track, for example, where we were going to focus on the carrier side as well, we will have Lufthansa with us because we want to know they are establishing a new customer-driven demand process called order and offer management. And the time scale they are looking for is for the next 10 to 15 years to change the entire process. And this shows there is a very quick change in many demand-driven processes, but how to get the production in this more flexible way will be a big thing for the whole industry.
Yeah, lots and lots of food for thought there. Lea, you've touched on this, and you kind of directly and indirectly all really have already. But where do you think that we will mostly sort of see Gen AI take applied in our sector? And do you happen to sit on a couple of really, really great case studies? You're more than welcome to raise your hand if you do. I don't know, Dirk, have you come across a particularly strong case study that you might be able to divulge, or Lea?
Yeah, well, I think Dirk has better ones as he was really like preparing also the AI track, right? I think he's probably totally immersed in the whole area of AI now in the travel applications. But I'm just repeating what I said earlier would be the operational efficiency, right? And a great example. I mean, it sounds very simple, right? But for example, just the review topic for hotels, just the massive amount of reviews they should respond to. There is just so much efficiency they can gain via leveraging tools like ChatGPT, right? And there's startups out there, but also existing mature companies that go together and they offer solutions. So one example, for example, could be Customer Alliance is a review platform for the hotel sector. They also serve other industries, but mainly they're focused on the hotel industry. And they, for example, launched an AI reply assistant, but already last year, right? So that's for hotels. It sounds very like simple, but it's such an help in the operational daily life of a hotelier, right? So that's I think a great example. And then something I'm super excited about personally is it's not also not my personal area of expertise, but as I see also a huge challenge around sustainability in our industry to kind of closing the say-do gap, right? We're all talking about this also for years, but then there's not really something happening if you look at the actual numbers or the real case out there. So there is a lot of solutions trying to leverage AI for that, right? In terms of sustainability management, software solutions that leverage AI, for example, operators to track and measure their sustainability performance, giving them better recommendations on how to act upon them, etc. There's, for example, a player, Weaver, coming to the ITB Hotel Technology track. I'm curious to hear from them how they are planning to really leverage AI for that to bring the industry forward. Yes, and another aspect that I've heard from a few experts by now saying about the whole generative AI, and especially with the agents that are supposed to come then, so Bill Gates being very passionate about them, is this whole topic of making it accessible to everyone, right, regardless of your resources, status, or where you are. So maybe that's something we'll see also in a few years. I don't know, as we've seen it in the past, right? So before internet was accessible to everyone, now it's just the standard to all of us. Maybe the standard to all of us as well in terms of education, health, travel, information. Well, let's see. I don't know.
I mean, I find that particular area of great interest and of great importance to our sector, not least because we lost such a tremendous amount of very good people during COVID, and we've simply not been able to actually entice those back. So new people are coming into our industry, and AI might be a very, very good way of getting them up to speed very, very quickly. And at least, if they have certain tools that are AI driven, they might be able to just offer the types of services that the roles that they're in require. We're certainly seeing a lot of organizations that are trying to really help the agent and the tour operator actually be more efficient when they discuss options with their clients. Dirk, did you have anything to add to this, or can we continue on to our next questions?
Oh, up to you, Charlie. I just can't add. I mean, AI is already everywhere within the customer journey. So the only thing I don't see AI that much is booking, just because booking is pretty complex. Markus said this is really the big challenge is to combine AI with a good old traditional travel technology, means with the legacy systems, and this is the completely opposite of AI, just because it's dynamic pricing, it's availabilities, and it's the opposite of machine learning and closed systems. So the challenge will be to bring it together, and so we need a good combination of AI skills and travel tech skills, and in this game we are really in the beginning, I have to say. So this can be a cool topic for next year, ITB.
Yes, we're already thinking about 25. And Markus, I want to come back to you. I want to sort of steer us in a slightly different direction now, because you mentioned something that's always been of interest to me ever since I came into the travel sector some 13 years ago. We talked about legacy systems back then. We're still talking about them. So you know, saying that, we are beginning to see some change. And if we can just sort of park the AI conversation for a little bit, the change that we are beginning to see, what do you, Markus, let's go to you first. What do you think is contributing towards this?
I think I would like to make 2 points. I think one point is about creation of the right products, because totally go along with Dirk and Lea about what is AI helping us. It's helping us to get the information from the customer, what he really or she really wants to have, or what they really need. Now we have to have the production systems to be able and flexible enough to produce all that what the customer wants to have. And so therefore it's the kind of, do I provide the right product in the right channel for the right time? And is everyone able to get you really wants? I think this is one big point. But another point is as well, you mentioned before about sustainability. We will also have on track AIDA and Lufthansa and Best Western together, because they are part of a big sustainability initiative. And this initiative shows how technical development is necessary to get the people to the destinations they want to get there. I mean, looking at the engines running the big cruise ships, as well as sustainable fuel on the airline side. This is all very, very technical driven. So this is also part of technical solution, and not only to save the world, but to save the world in a way of how can tourism and the tourism industry be part of it, and not telling everyone not to take a next journey, but also to take a journey on a more sustainable way. And I think this is also where AI is coming into the game, and telling us how can we proceed in the industry to find the right answers for the questions of the world.
Yeah, I love it. Again, there's an awful lot to take on board just in that wonderful answer. Lea, let me ask you, and then I'll go to the gentleman as well. You know, what areas of tech is actually exciting you at the moment? If we can maybe not talk about AI, you know, I'm wondering what sort of inspires you and why at the minute.
Yeah, I think it's not the answer you want to hear, probably most likely, but something that really excites me personally is going back to the basics, right? Because like I've been not as long in the industry as many of you guys or all the leaders out there, but all the time that I've been basically working in the industry, we've been talking about the seamless trip experience. We've talking about the fragmentation. We've talked about, you know, we're talking about these legacy systems and getting into the cloud. And then if you look at the real case scenario, it's not happening, right? And it's due to many reasons. So I'm not saying that's just because we're not trying. It's just because it's very complex, and our industry is a very complex industry. And there's also business cases behind that, right? So I'm super excited about hearing from all the players that are on stage or also coming to ITB, getting into the dialogue with them and hearing what they actually achieved over the years, right? So in particular in the hotel field, for example, they're trying solutions. It's also related to automation, of course, right? But you have the robotic process automation where they have really advances in getting better at making it easier for of customers, users internally, right? Partners, B2B partners. So that's what I find very exciting. But then another thing that is a technology we've been talking about for many years now as well, and Dirk is also quite familiar with that, is the whole topic around digital IDs, right? We've been talking about ITB convention first time, I think, at the virtual convention that we had, the ITB Berlin now. Then there was a use case, also governmentally funded, then it kind of stops, it doesn't work out. And then now you have a lot of solutions available, but still it's a massive topic. And now we're coming to the topic of infrastructure, right? So how should an infrastructure look like to support this? And is this really the key to this whole seamless travel experience that we're all wishing to have? So yeah, long story short, that's what I'm excited about to hear. Are we getting more seamless now?
It's definitely still a very hot topic during the 3 days. I think in every single track. So we still have a way to go. Dirk, did you want to come in with a comment or two here?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I fully agree with Lea. I mean, excellence is so much better than the next big thing or the next buzzword. So I absolutely love to bring things together to connect the industries. This industry is highly fragmented, and I think it will never get the all-in-one system that covers all these exciting verticals of our industry. But it's really time to do a better data exchange, to have clearer specifications, and I think we can learn from other industries to implement decentralized networks, to set up the right data frames and the right protocols, and absolutely we have to talk about data spaces, we have to talk about digital identities, and we have to talk about everything that brings personalization. And fully agree with Lea, digital identities definitely are the next big thing. They are linked to a lot of other buzzwords or a lot of other hype topics. They are linked to blockchain. They are linked to Gaia X and other European Union initiatives and so on. But we need more personalization, and I would love that this industry will open up themselves and won't be that afraid about data protection, just because, I mean, we're talking about personal data when we do personalization, and we need good keys and good systems to get the information to the customer and to the guests by his allowance, of course, but we need the right technology to get better hosts, and that's what we should do.
Great. Markus, I'd love to bring you in on this one as well, please, if I may.
Sure. I would like to summarize what both of the colleagues just mentioned, and I would like to top it with something I see within not only the next year, but I think it's the next decade of years where we have to focus on is, on the one hand side, we have the big discussion of sustainability, and everyone is going to be asking, are we going to be blamed if we are going long haul journeys or something like this? On the other hand, we are talking exactly about individualization. So I think what the next big thing should be is more like, how can I get the very individual demands or the very individual wishes of everyone in a way of how to combine it with a mass phenomenon of touristic. So not bringing only the people to very nice spots and destroying these spots in the next time, because everyone knows about the Instagram pictures and everything where you can put a spot on a table and after 2 years it's damaged or something like this. And there I think AI and all the flexibility of the new system approaches should be working in how to get a very individualized journey, a feeling of a journey or individualized holidays, but as well as with a high class of possibilities to not destroy all the power we do have in the industry. Because at the end of the day, we are earning our money with many people going to make a journey, and this is, I think, the questions have to be on the table at the end to be answered by AI and all the technical improvements. How to focus and how to bring the people to the right places, though that each individual has a great feeling of holiday, but on the other hand, not to get in a way of not to be sustainable enough in our industry.
I agree. Least we ever forget that travel is a privilege, a massive privilege. And if digitization, if AI can help us actually really truly understand that and be reminded of that, then we have an opportunity to look after sort of this beautiful planet of ours. We are slowly we have to wrap up. I can't believe it. This video cast, I guess, really does sort of get us ready for ITB Berlin in March. Between us, we will be hosting some of the 17 conference tracks this year. And I wonder, sort of as a last comment before I thank you for being here, which of the tracks, you can say your own, which of the tracks you are most looking forward to this year? Lea, let's go with you.
You can say your own track, or you can't say your own track.
You can say your own track, of course. You've been working
Actually,
on this.
no, but every year when I look at the full agenda, right, when it's done, I just have the pain that I can't be anywhere at the same time, right? So I just have to, first of all, I have to be at certain places as we're hosting, but also I just have the pain to want to be everywhere. So it's really hard to make a suggestion, right? But if it's really about digital innovation, I mean, the opening day, the future track, you should definitely go there. There's one of our most famous leaders coming, like Glenn Rogl, right? Dirk is at your track, at the future track. He's there for an interview. So, I mean, that's a unique opportunity to have him in the same room as yourself, listening to him and what he has to share. And then, I mean, there's so many tracks. Just take the time, I'd say, some time really to look at it and mark for yourself what matches best to your interest, and then maybe even take a few sessions you wouldn't be so much interested, and then you get surprised if you go there. Because I can just say by myself, the content that I consumed last year on demand afterwards, it's just excellent, because you, even if it's 20 minutes from someone you've never heard speaking before, there's always something you can take away, right? And there's something that maybe pops up later that will inspire some idea or motivation to move on with the digitization. So that's just what I would call for. Just take a look at the program. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, and that's very good advice. Dirk, as we wrap up, last few words from you, what you're excited about. You can say all of them.
I can and I will. That's what I want to say. We do have a large e-travel stage. It's placed in all 6 ones. It's a traditional travel tech hall, and there's a wide range of possibilities. We do have, what I have to say, we do really a genuine AI track. First time this year, of course, first time, and I expect a full house, but probably there's space for you guys, so just jump in. It's on Wednesday afternoon.
If only we could split ourselves in 2 or 3, that would be, as Lea said, that would be ideal for those 3 days. Markus, any last thoughts from you on what you are looking forward to?
Well, I think I just would like to say, I think we do all of us do have some very great names on the tracks, and from my experience specifically, also from the entire ITBs and conferences, that's not always the biggest names telling most of the interesting things. I think if the people looking on the program just have a look on are there really specific people probably having to tell something very interesting. So this must not be the biggest one, but this can also be the smaller SMEs or the smaller startups or whatever who tell a little bit more than those big companies may explain because of rules and stuff. They may not tell everything. So I think you have to spread up and you have to look what's your special interest, like Dirk and Lea just said.
Wonderful. Very, very, very good advice. Everybody everybody can go off and have a closer look at the program, and it's literally just finalizing over these next couple of weeks. So there will be a lot to look forward to. Thank you, Lea, Dirk, and Markus. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in March in person.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
See you at ITB. Thank you.
Yes.
Definitely. And what needs to be said now is that we need to thank our audience as well, of course, for listening. We hope it has been useful. You can find loads more Travel Hero podcasts on ITB's website. And of course, we hope to see many of you in person in March from the 5th till the 7th. And get your ticket. They're not sold out quite yet, but we're getting there, and don't miss the world's largest travel convention. Next time you hear from us, or me rather, we'll be back in podcast mode. I'll be talking to the wonderful Rohit Talwar, who's a futurist at Fast Future, and he will be opening the diversity track, one of my tracks, on the 5th of March. And we look forward to knowing a little bit more about what he has to say. So till then, thanks again to Lea, Dirk, and Markus. Stay well, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.